rates to be part of a budget measure. That cannot be a budget measure. That's ongoing. So the huge savings that the country has seen, the 200 million US dollars that we have saved between 2014 and 2015 as a country by importing cheaper fuel, we want to see the benefits passed on in an ongoing way, not to wait at a once-in-a-year event around the budget. Because if that becomes the reality, then when there are needs for adjustments downwards, people would start expecting that that should only happen at budget time. Let me tell you what this has done. The non-reduction of the price at the pump has led to a huge windfall for the oil companies, including the private oil companies, at the expense of ordinary citizens of this country. They have raked in billions of dollars in profits. The oil companies. The mere fact that we have not adjusted the prices at the pump, although the acquisition cost is lower. We always use guile to ensure that the market would follow guile by lowering the price, and so bringing the benefits to large masses of people rather than just the oil companies. So I would urge you to look this year at the profitability of the oil companies, and you will see the massive amounts of money that is there. The electricity prices should have tumbled by now, significantly. Because when your oil is now $20-something a barrel, and it was $115 a barrel in the past, then really, and oil is the biggest component of cost for generating electricity, then the prices should have come down significantly. What we are doing, we are filling the coffers of GPL, and the consumers of this country, the people, ordinary people, as well as the businesses, they have no stimulus. This could have been a big stimulus for the economy, because if you allow more money to go into people's pockets, they tend to have more disposable income. They would spend more, because they, especially at the lower levels, their propensity to consume and to spend is higher than at the level of the oil companies. And so that would have happened. And secondly, if we had allowed the prices to be adjusted, both electricity and fuel prices, we would have given a big stimulus to our business community, those who use fuel, the miners, the manufacturers, etc. But we have not. We talk about stimulus, but we have missed a huge opportunity because we're looking at just raking in revenue and helping out a few companies, big companies, oil companies. That's the first point. But we do not want it to be a budget measure, because this should be an ongoing adjustment. It should have been announced in the past. It could be announced in a budget day, but it should not be considered a once a year type of thing, because oil prices move up and down throughout the year, and we must have flexibility. We've seen the proposed, I think, reduction in vehicle taxes, and we support any reduction in taxes if that's an election promise. But will it increase the demand for new vehicles? Would there be a switching because of the elasticity, price elasticity? It's yet to be seen. And so could it lead to lower revenue overall because there's no increased demand for new vehicles because of affordability? A poor person still can't, many of them still may not be able to get the acquisition cost of a new vehicle. Forget the taxes, but the cost of acquisition will probably be higher. And so we hope that it would also, if we're thinking about helping ordinary people, that maybe there will be some reduction in taxes on reconditioned vehicle too, so that another class of people could benefit, another ordinary people could benefit. We're hoping strongly that there will be, given what has happened, that there was a one-off 50,000 grant at the end of the year to public servants. That has now become part of their salary base. And given that the increase they got was only retroactive to July last year, that there should be a substantial increase in wages and salaries to offset that, because the 50,000 has not become part of the base. They just got it as a grant, and it's now become added to their gross salary. So you have to have a huge salary increase to compensate for that. And the same thing with the pensioners. We've calculated that the pensioners are worse off last year after the budget than they were, because for many of them, not all of them, because many along the coast, etc., the cost of the water subsidy and the electricity subsidy was greater than what they got an increase in their pension. So a pension increase of a minimum, I think, of about 35% will probably get them back to a position, minimum increase, to where they would be comparable to the past, where they wouldn't have lost benefits, a minimum increase in that. So we're expecting a substantial increase there too. We expect that there will be significant support for the productive sectors of our economy. That measures would be announced on mining sector to help the mining sector. Measures will be announced to help the rice industry. Measures will be announced to help sugar, the other sectors, and all the other sectors of the economy, agriculture, services, etc. These are some of the things that we hope. The government, we will support the government to reduce the taxes, because that could be another stimulus, and that's what we need in a time of hardship. So any taxes that the government will reduce, we will support them on, but especially the value-added tax, which was part of their campaign. They said they needed a bit more time. They said they would do it early. Well, in the campaign, they said they will do it. Then last year's budget, they said they would needed some time to study it. And now we are hoping that they have made a decision, and we will see the value-added tax coming from 16% down to 12%. This is very important. It's part of their election promise, and so we will support them for this. And then, of course, the reinstatement, even if they don't want to increase the Because We Care cash grant to 20,000 and more. But even if they should put back the 10,000 in the budget, because the few measures, the couple vehicles that are given, and by the way, we're submitting a statement. I think, did I speak about this last week? We're submitting a statement, a question to the Parliament to ask the following things. These donations we see made by private individuals, are they personal donations to the President? Because I see his name on these buses. If they're personal statements, would they form part of personal donations? Would they form part of his declaration to the Integrity Commission? Or are they donations to the government of Guyana? If they're donations to the government of Guyana, will they be recorded in the register, the government register of assets? We would also like to see who have donated what. So the names of the individual, how much they have donated, and whether any of these individuals have any contract or supply the government, because we want to guard against conflict of interest. Having said all of these, even if we do this voluntary kind of thing with businessmen's goodwill to help people, the children move around freely from school to school, and that's a laudable initiative. It's a laudable initiative. But should it not have, how can you take a few businessmen, get a few boats and bicycles and buses and put them around the country, and then take away $1.67 billion from the families that they had to help them with transportation? Is it not hypocritical? Is it not just a show? It's a political initiative.